Well, the purpose is once the 5 years is up, we're still supposed to get a certain amount of funding from the state.
For stuff, but not for salary.
Friday,
Right.
left Friday,
Thursday,
came back Friday.
I would have to go back and look at it. I thought
Yeah.
salary was part of it, but it's like they say, it's for training, it's for other,
Yeah.
it's for equipment and stuff like that. That's
Do it,
it.
man.
Cause that, to me, is that's a good reason, if they want fundraise to pay that, rather than having the district pay Montessori certification.
Yeah, yeah, and
Alright.
that's what the fundraising's for.
I heard that Pete wanted to pay for it.
Pete.
Did I hear that
Okay,
correct?
it is now 6:03 PM, March 24th. This is our regular school board meeting. We started a little late because we were just adjourning from another meeting. We'll go around and have roll call. John?
Here.
Ben?
Here.
Brittany is not present at the moment. Brad?
Here,
And myself, Keith, here. All right. Announcements. Our announcements are, meeting as a whole will be held April 7th, 2025. Regular meeting will be held April 21st. President's message, April meeting, reorganization of officers and farewell. So just a reminder to you guys, who do you want as your next president? And you're not getting any recommendations from me. So it's all on you. All right, so with that being said, any other questions on that? All right, approval of meeting agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
All right, that will be Brad and Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Approval of minutes from our March 24th meeting.
So move.
I'll second.
All right, Ben and Brad, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Treasurer's report.
All right, our March 2025, our beginning balance was $598,215.44. Total deposits, $1,208,860.92. Our expenses for the month, $450,585.58. And our ending balance, $1,356,490.78. Local government pool, $1,784,876.10.
All right, thank you, Ben.
I'll make the motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
All in
All right, Brad and John, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That will be filed for audit. Expenditures.
Make the motion to approve the expenditures.
I'll second.
Okay, Brad and John. Leanne is not here to answer any questions at this time. If you have any further questions, please email her. All right. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Student council.
We'll be working on trying to get more consistent turnout for our student council.
Okay.
Because I know that the objective is to have them more involved with different activities going on in the district, so.
And to learn all about politics.
That's it.
Yes. Okay, committee as a whole.
Okay.
So we've got the meeting, the March meeting minutes here.
We do.
Yes, if you click on the little
Yep.
time clock.
Oh.
says Approval, so.
Do those need approval?
It's just there for.
There for your information.
Alright.
All right. Any further questions on that? Okay. All right, Eagles Wings Charter School update.
All right, we do have the meeting agenda and minutes from the March meeting from the Eagles Wing Charter School Board. And then our meeting right before this, I think it was very enlightening as far as things that we need to improve upon. And this would be one, because I think having the minutes from their meeting it's a way, but I don't think it's as fruitful and productive as it can be. And I'm hoping that we can impact this a little better in the future here, so.
Okay. All right, athletic director. Nathan is not present, but report. Winter sports, looks like girls basketball earned #1 seat for the playoffs. Congratulations, ladies. All
Actually
right.
got-
Yeah,
Actually got-
they did pretty well this year,
Yes.
A little bit.
like, really well this year,
Yeah.
so I was really
Well,
happy.
Ashley got coach of the year too.
Yes.
That's correct.
Mentioned that, yes, he was also one of our local teams, and as we see for first time all conference, we got Claire I'm really bad.
Bernstein, yeah.
Bernstein, player of the year. Second team, Hallie Johnson, and then third team is Peyton Simonson, and then our honorable mention was Estelle
Alyssa.
Alyssa,
Yeah.
okay. And then a coach, of course, our own Ashley Nelson. All right, looks like boys basketball earned as #6 seat for the playoffs, losing to Frederick regional quarterfinals. Basketball finished up with a 13-10 record. Postseason honors, second team all conference. Chad, Caden Layson, I know, I'm bad. Third is Jacob Taggart, and honorable mention was Trevor Nelson. Yeah, I'll let you guys do the names.
Yeah, there,
Yeah.
so.
All right.
Yeah, and then with the spring sports, pretty much everything is going now. Today was the last start date for baseball getting going. I know that WIA has a number of meetings coming up here. Nathan is attending the April 25th. I'm, as I alluded to in my email, I'm on the sportsmanship committee, and we've got our meeting on Friday, so should be some good information coming out of that, so. Yeah, still interested to see how things take off with name, image, and likeness for high school athletes. It is definitely a big deal with the NCAA seeing it now plastered on different events and different promotions on TV. So it's kind of interesting. So we'll see where that goes. And then the last thing that he had was the co-op renewals. Just a reminder, now is the time that we would be looking at renewals for baseball, softball, and track is the spring. And May 1st, so that will be in our April agenda. So, all right.
Any other further questions? All right, that brings us to our principal's report. Ann.
Yeah, so prior to spring break, as we had briefly talked about, March 14th, we did kind of a PBIS Wellness Day for all students and staff. Had a lot of different activities that kind of revolved around team building skills, wellness, learning, and just different agencies that we brought in for additional learning opportunities for our students. Dustin Anderson, our school counselor, had a lot of great, I mean, there was others as well, a lot of great connections with some agencies that he was able to bring in, and so it's just really fun for the kids to experience something that they may have not necessarily been exposed to. Our next meeting, and Pete will talk a little bit more about this, about the equitable multi-tiered level system of supports, and how it relates to our student referrals and offenses within the school setting, and just kind of look at the trends and patterns that we're seeing with some of our students. Updates and recognitions, our elementary math and reading event, I believe was March 7th.
It was, yeah.
Was had a lot of great feedback, had a lot of great attendance from our families. I don't know, Pete, do you have the number offhand?
Not specific, but it was upwards of 70 people came in, family members that came in and attended with their kids, which is
Good.
phenomenal, so.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't get back from the city, so.
Check, so, I'm hoping that we can expand on that next year and continue this, so.
So, great turnout, not only from our families, but just our local businesses being a part of that day as well.
Yeah.
It was really fun to have them.
Check,
Involved.
and we do have someone present that
Yes.
participated in this event and did a great job with it, so it was good, it was good.
Our ACT testing went great. Talking with some of the juniors, they felt it went really well for them. They really enjoyed having that space to just them and to focus, so a lot of good positive feedback. And
When do
then-
they normally get their test results? Is that soon or?
Um,
I think my daughter got her back within a few days now. take,
Yeah.
because it's all electronic.
Right, the electronic test taking, it's a pretty quick turnaround versus it
Used to
was.
be like a month. Or more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it usually took quite a while for paper tests.
Now,
to
that's
get
a,
those results.
I assume that's a very personal, or, something that's personal to that student.
That is
Does
correct.
the school know?
The
what
school
the
district
scores
does,
are, or-
yes, we do
Okay.
get all the results for students, regardless of what state test they take,
Okay.
so.
Mhm.
so.
Two things that are not on here but had found out over the weekend. Kelsey Ryder is one of the top 3 finalists for the state, for the presidential award for excellence in mathematics. So she has the opportunity to, she has to do, I'm trying to remember offhand, a few more steps to be recognized at the national level, hopefully. So,
Oh.
yeah,
It's in the
really.
Eagle Flyer.
What's that?
I said it was in the Eagle Flyer.
It was.
Mhm. Yes, it was.
And
So,
then,
very exciting news.
Joanne Zozel was also
Yeah.
recognized as Northland Teacher of the Year.
Yeah.
So,
Or-
how did that come about?
So-
Did someone nominate her, or they just?
Joanne, or?
Yeah.
Yes,
how did they-
so, with both of them, there was a nomination. I was not aware of the, national teacher, for mathematics and science. That was our CISA 12, math coach that nominated her for it. And she accepted it, because it was a pretty lengthy process, where she had to record her giving instruction and a number of other things, as well as written materials and whatnot. So it was a pretty lengthy process, and now she's pulling in more data to further enhance her teaching abilities and the progress and whatnot of her students. So that's kind of cool. And likewise with the Northland teacher, that was a nomination as well.
So is Northland Douglas County from here to Eagle River?
Actually, no,
or-
it's actually through WDIO, so she will be a TV star here in the near future. So they're coming out on Wednesday to interview her, and yeah.
But they didn't, I mean, WDIO is not selecting, are they?
It's through them, so.
Okay.
So I'm not sure who was all involved in it, but I know they promote it, so.
Okay, great.
So, it's awesome. And there's some, I forget where the funds come back, but anyway, there's goodies that go with it, so.
I'm sure she's very happy to get the
She
recognition.
is, so that's a good thing.
I'm amazed you'll get her to get in front of a camera or anything.
She's a little nervous already, but that's all right, so.
Well deserved.
Absolutely.
And then just upcoming, we're kind of in the thick of our state testing right now, state and district testing, so we have a lot of that coming up this month and next month. Our senior, and as you can see on our upcoming events, our pre-ACT test, that's for our freshmen and sophomores, that's this Friday. And then starting next week is our forward testing with some of our lower grades, middle school, and our sophomores.
And is that data is what goes into the state report card?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Our third quarter is coming to an end here soon. We have some music events coming up in the near future as well. And then we're just continuing our work on schedules for next year. We have been conducting interviews for our face position, and then upcoming is our 4KK roundup that will get here on the calendar soon. So, kind of my update.
All right.
Well done.
Any questions, Brad? All right. Brings us on to our superintendent's report. Pete.
All right, first things first. So, bus powered by LP, getting an update. So, we had gotten quotes, and actually, we have it laid out as far as what we're looking at. It's a bus with underneath storage on both sides, so it can be utilized not only for classroom, but getting an agreement with the regular board and the governance board to use that for sports would be wise as well. Nice thing about LP, once again, lower operational cost and the maintenance is less as well. And the fact that Feral Gas is willing to install that filling station on their location free of charge to us. So that's
Not the
significant.
fueling's free, but the.
Feeling's not free, but.
We gotta take care of the fuel, but the fueling
The
station
fueling
itself,
station.
that's the, yeah, so.
Is that something like our
Oh,
bus
fuel.
drivers will be able to fuel them?
Yes,
Yep.
they,
Okay.
they will get trained on how to do
Yes.
that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we. didn't have
Well,
to
they're
Right.
actually
wait
gonna
around.
provide us the training, set up the
Okay.
Right.
fueling station, and then they can just go down there and do it, no different when they go to a gas
Right.
station, so it's a win-win for every one of us.
Right.
So is this an extra bus? Is it a bus to replace a bus?
It is, it will eventually replace a bus,
Okay,
yes.
and then will it be used on a route?
It will not be used on
Not
a route.
used on a route.
It will not be used on a route, simply
Okay.
because it is being purchased through the grant, through our charter board, and that's where I'm saying it can be utilized to transport the charter, but then if we have that agreement, we can use that for other purposes as well.
Okay,
So-
because, and this is always stuck in my craw, is they purchased the canoes, but it can be used only for charter, so this is not gonna be restricted in the same way?
We will come up with that agreement on how we use this.
Okay,
And that would be agreement between the regular board and the charter board.
yeah,
So,
okay.
Yeah, because we're gonna be maintaining it as our
That's
school,
correct.
so we'll have a cost to it, so I have a feeling that that's what we'll work around
Yeah.
about.
yeah.
Work around for it.
And
Well-
do we have a ballpark price on this?
Why, yes, we do, and actually, it has to move forward they have the preliminary contract coming to us, because April 1st, the price will go up due to tariff changes. So, they contacted me today just saying, can we send you a preliminary?
Must be a
And-
Canadian bus or something, or?
Well, there's supplies and stuff that go into it,
Yeah.
yes, so.
Our
anyways.
American-made dish machines are going up 5 to 7%.
So, anywho, yeah, I will have that for you during our committee of the whole meeting. But it's right where we anticipated,
Okay.
where the expense was.
This
so,
grant money,
Yeah, so, and it was, the increase was roughly $7,000 to $10,000, if I remember correctly, from now versus April 1st, so it was good to try to lock stuff in, so. Anywho, that's where we're at with this. Next item, that equitable multi-tiered level system of supports, or EMLSS. Just trying to provide more clarity on that decision-making process. So this establishes that framework on how we determine students that need interventions or intensive interventions, and it really guides our work and provides that framework on how we make those decisions, who's involved in making those decisions, and what's the process to evaluate whether they're making progress or not. And then also, if we have to move to a referral for special education, that's a must. We have to have something very clear in this process. So that's what we're trying to set up.
This is at least to me, a fairly new term. I mean, is this a new program? And so what were we doing before EMLSS?
That is a very good question, because it wasn't around when I first started in education, but it first came out as RTI, or Response to Interventions. And then it went to MTSS, which is multi-tiered system of supports, to
So it's a
MLS.
continuation of
Yeah,
something.
I think we've landed on this now, and it's not moving anywhere, so, but it's the same stuff.
Come on, we
Yeah.
wanna add
Right.
another letter, don't we?
Try it, anyway, but,
No thanks.
we had some system in place, but we're really solidifying it. And this is where it came into establishing a very set schedule in our elementary. So we have, if you guys look at it, it's called win time. What I need is what win refers to. And that's the time that we're providing some of these interventions and being very intentional in it. Where we went through that period where it was just kind of murky. So just being very deliberate in getting our schedules and our framework all set to provide students what they need. So,
Used to be whip inflation now, but that's, you gotta be old to know that one.
right. No. Fair enough, fair enough.
Don't know what you're talking about.
But, right, there you go.
Anywho.
Gerald Ford initiative or something.
Check. So, next one is career and technical education. So just referring to this item, I know Jen Mackla and I attended the planning for the 25-26 school year, kind of crazy. And it was just reviewing our classes and what are some of the ways that we can provide credits towards that CTE tracking or career and technical education. When I say CTE, that's what it's referring to. And it's very specific because there are funds that come back to that, and that's through our Perkins grant. Right now, as a district, we get very little, simply because we haven't tracked things well and have the courses available for them. But looking at what we provide and how we can track it better, if we're talking about metals and welding, woodworking, CNC and drafting, we've talked about some of those possibilities in partnering with Northwood Tech in providing some of that. CNA and medical classes, that also can be part of that track. And then one thing that we're looking at trying to expand on is engineering and robotics. I know that Colin Weta is really expressed interest in robotics, and this could expand into a collaboration with both our industrial tech or our shop classes, as well as other classes to do coding, electronics, and fabrication, which then can lead into actual participation. Well, I would say, can we do most of that with the positions we have on hand? I think so. But where I'm getting with this, it provides learning opportunities, but then it also provides extracurricular opportunities, because there are entities around us that participate in robotics competitions.
Are we
That's
doing anything in robotics now?
very, very limited,
Okay.
and what we have is outdated, and that's, I know that Colin submitted for a grant to try to get funds to replace that. We didn't get it, but we're gonna explore ways on how we can make this
I
happen.
mean, that seems like that'd be something that would be right to collaborate with Northland Tech or something.
Right, no, you're exactly right. So there are many different ways that we can look at this, whether it's Northwood Tech, or other entities, so, anywho. And moving on, this kind of goes hand in hand with it, youth apprenticeship. Next year, we're going to be moving with Olivia Daschel, who is the CC12 representative for youth apprenticeship, to bolster our participation, because with youth apprenticeship, every student that participates in it, there are funds that go with that as well, and it really helps not just the district, it helps the students, but then it also helps businesses, because those students can actually get out, get training or job experience in career fields that they want to explore.
So
Right.
how does that work if the employer wants to have an apprentice? How do they contact this Olivia? Is that how it works?
So Olivia will be working with us in developing those contacts and building these
And
opportunities.
that's for next year?
She's already started dialogue with us. But we couldn't make a move before the end of the school year, simply because there are grant funds and contractual things tied to this. So
Okay.
we were previously with Northwood SEP, just wasn't working out in the way we wanted as far as building a program, versus I think Olivia Daschel will. She's worked with a number of schools within CISA 12, and they've seen dramatic increases in student participation in those areas, which then increases the amount of funds coming back for the school district to funnel into this program.
I'm just wondering, 'cause
So-
like my company is looking for interns this summer, so that's why how do you get signed up?
Check.
There you go.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
All right, perfect. All right. Last but not least, I know this is crazy stuff that's going on out there. just with the Department of Education, and just understanding that, you know, the Department of Education, what do we get from that? There are funds that are tied to the Department of Education that we receive. That's your IDEA funds for special education, Title I funds, or any of your title funds, which are designated for schools that have underserved students, i.e. students in low social economic status, and then also Perkins grants, which ties into that career and technical education, okay? The main thing is just understanding that there are different things tied to the Department of Education, and where it comes back to is reaching out to Congressmen and those leaders and understanding what are they trying to achieve, or what steps are they going to take in this process, because it's not just our president making determinations. There's also the requirement from our Congress, because there are statutes in law that designate these agencies to exist. So, it takes all of them to kind of work together in this. So, reaching out and just voicing the concern as a district that, loss of these funds can have a major impact, and just trying to understand what are they looking at as far as moving forward. So, anyway, and my whole point is just highlighting that there's some ramifications for the district with this. So, okay.
All right.
All right. And last but not least, school board and superintendent retreat. I left that there for you, put out by CSIP 12. It's going to be a wonderful event in Hayward. I'm just wondering if you guys want to participate in it. We'll have to know here in the near future, so.
Are you planning on attending? Or is it just board, or is it?
Board and superintendent.
Yes, I
Okay, yeah.
would have to come with you guys. I'm not chaperoning though. so.
I will go,
Yeah, I think I'll go, I can go too.
just because, yeah, the curriculum thing's what I really
Right.
like to.
Yeah, I think there's some good topics that are gonna be brought up there, so, okay. And
my calendar.
so I'll tentatively mark the two of you, and then if anyone else wants to attend, please let me know.
Okay.
We've got a little bit of time there, so
May 1st.
that is it.
I'm always up for a
Great.
$65 steak.
Any other questions for Pete? All right, that brings us on public comment. Al, nothing? All right. Okay, personal recommendations. There is nothing there for personal
We have
recommendations.
nothing for personnel recommendations and nothing for donations at this point, so.
Okay, so we'll skip the donation. Certified employee compensation. Okay.
All right, based on our discussion at the committee of the whole, I have put together a recommendation. It is the staff payroll correction, teacher pay and years of service proposal.
Oh,
Is that one. It's taking a look at where our current staff is in relation to the pay scale that I have set up on the staff payroll list, 24-25 pay scale, which is the recommendation. So two different things here, but taking a look at the teacher pay and years of service, it's just comparing where our current staff is projection-wise, and based on that schedule, where they should come out. If you look at those graphs, individuals with masters, it comes out pretty evenly. And with bachelor's degree, there's, for the most part, it's pretty well spot on.
So some of these look like a reduction in pay?
It is not, no. It's all increases, but what it is based from the pay scale that I put in the other, because we talked about certified staff recommendation pay scale for new hires. And what I did is compared this to what our current staff is.
Okay.
Just to get a relation, does it
So the
match?
projected would be not that person,
That's
That's
correct.
just a comparison, it would be.
Right.
New person coming in would be, at some of them at a reduced
Right. It-
rate, based
What-
on
what I-
years.
So it was a two-pronged thing. I wanted to develop a pay scale that kind of matched up with where our current staff are.
Yeah,
And looking at that long-term, and then pulling that back and saying, this is my recommendation when we look at new hires, and go through that process. What we talked about is taking into account education, but then if that person has more than 5 years of service, we're only going up to 5, but then if we can't come to an agreement that anything beyond that would require the board president approval on this.
so
That
on the
makes sense.
graph.
Yeah.
You have like, to the right of projected, you have a number of X's, and I couldn't figure out what that was supposed to.
So those were just placing where people were, so,
That's the data you made the graph with.
yeah. I'm just being transparent with all the information and data that I used.
There's
to
more
make this
X's
determination.
underneath the graph, you just can't see them,
Yeah,
because the graph's on top of it.
so,
Oh, I get it.
sorry, I took a snapshot of spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. I can develop all kinds of graphs and whatnot, so. And that was the whole thing, was taking a look at where our current staff are going to be this following year, and the projections based on that scale that I produced.
Okay.
And that's what those
Okay,
those
so not
graphs are.
to not use names, or,
Yeah.
so on the first line,
Yeah,
we've got a person with 6.5 years with a BA,
right,
and under the current, that is the current salary for that person now.
this next year based on.
Next year.
Yeah,
But if we hired someone brand new with the same, they'd be on the upper scale.
that's correct.
Okay.
So, there are little nuances here that we have, and that's why I wanna get something very clean
Yeah.
and succinct, right? So,
I mean, if I were a person on line 1, and I knew my salary, and I knew the person you were hiring knew that also had 6.5 years, and I'd say, well, this person's making $3,000 more than I am. And I would say, Mr. Superintendent, can you explain to me why you're paying somebody new,
right,
new
right.
to the district
Check.
more?
Yeah, and that's a hard one to answer, because what did we have to fall back on? You know, all we can do is, based on these recommendations and your experience, the other things that we have to take into consideration is what are the positions that we're trying to fill too, so
Yeah.
that, I mean, it all plays in, but trying to have a basis of making the decision is where I was going with this, so.
Okay.
Okay, any other further questions? All right, early college credit?
And, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just, with
Approval.
the.
Oh, approval, sorry.
Approval on
The
this
scale for
method.
Oh,
determination
sorry,
for this,
sorry.
so.
I make a motion of the approval of hiring pay guidelines in the CIP increase, or CPI increase.
I'd love to second it, but I just don't, and I know we've talked about this, and I'm really not a numbers person, but I just wanna make sure we've got some equity in here. It just seems like it's. I look at so I don't know,
Check.
yeah.
And once again, coming back to the committee of the whole, the big thing that I had to step back on is just getting the hiring practice And once again, this scale is for hiring practice only at this point in time. That doesn't mean our discussion on trying to balance out where our staff is in the future is done,
Yeah.
okay?
Got it.
Well, but so if we approve this, this is your sort of starting point with salary, or, I mean, are you restricted by it?
We are not. It is a device for us to use in that decision-making process when we're trying to bring on a new hire.
Okay.
That is truly it.
All right, well, that,
And the reason why I was comparing it to where our staff is trying to make sure it lines up as best as possible.
Yeah.
All right, so,
that helps.
I guess when I look at it, yeah, go ahead.
Well, well, technically,
The-
now we do the
Right.
discussion,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
but that clarified it. It took
Yeah.
me a little bit.
check.
Because when I look at it, some people were grossly underpaying, and some, if we're looking at the next scale as the, sort of the baseline to.
That is and that's exactly why I stepped back saying this is a far more challenging topic to try to tackle with
Yeah.
our current staff, but trying to make it as equitable as possible
Yeah.
when we bring in new people. That is
Yeah.
truly it at this point.
Yeah,
So-
okay, yeah. I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, it just,
Right now.
to me, it's giving a baseline compared to what we were kind of doing in the past was, we were kind of spitballing on the wall when we brought some new people in. You know, I won't deny that. So this is at least a baseline that gives everyone, okay, we're gonna bring you in, but this is like our point.
Mhm.
You know, we can't just, you know, how do I put this? I think you and I had this, some newer people walking in saying, I demand this amount of money, and it's like, are you, what? We're not even paying that to these. You know,
Right,
we can
that's
lay
my
out something
concern
and say,
is
right.
if we hire someone under this new sort of, you know, scale guideline, and the incumbents are gonna be like, oh, why don't you pay me that? If that's what you think a person with 25 years is worth.
Mhm. And that's it, it's giving some guidance, but then it's also putting that decision-making into the hands of the board, and it's not,
Yeah.
you know. So that's where I wanted to go with this as well.
Okay.
And that's a better thing, cause,
Well, I know what I would do if I were a teacher, but.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Ben did.
Ben. Okay, early college credit, college now.
were these like just lost or something? I saw one was
No,
from the
they
19th.
came in, so that was what was some of the
Did that
confusion,
committee.
is that March, yeah, I had them for the committee of the whole. They have to be brought into the district by March 1st, and then we approve them at that point in time. So, these did make it prior to that March 1st, which
Yep.
was right after our last meeting, so.
Did we already approved these, didn't we?
We did not.
We did not, okay.
We did not.
I'll
We
make
just
the
had 'em-
motion.
Okay.
Sorry.
Second?
Okay, Brad and Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, opposed, motion passes. Okay, business class grad requirements.
No, this was in lieu of the home or whatever, right?
It is not. It was just taking it out as far as a requirement to have a business class.
Okay.
Because right now, that is the case.
So is this old freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, is that what we currently have?
That is correct.
So I was looking at it, so where's the business?
It is down just a little bit. It is, beginning with students graduating in 2022, the equivalent of 0.5 half credit business/computer application is required.
So at some point, are we redrafting this handbook, or?
Yes. we-
Okay, because
we-
it still has the 80-hour thing too.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion
Okay, John?
Second?
Okay, Ben? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, ad hoc maintenance committee, oh, motion passes. All right, ad hoc maintenance committee, recommendations?
You could looked at this.
Yeah, I think we looked at this.
We did, and the
And-
yellow are the.
Priorities?
Are the priorities for funding.
I'll
Okay.
make the motion to approve the recommended maintenance projects for 2025, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, Brad and John, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes for the ad hoc maintenance committee.
And as we have funds available in our maintenance plan yet this year budget, we will try to knock off as much as we can in that budget this year, so.
So is the dishwasher gonna be contingent upon receiving the grant, or if we
No,
get it,
we're-
great, and if we don't, we're.
We're planning for it, period, so.
Okay,
So,
and well, I guess Leanne's not here, but budgetarily,
We're-
okay
we're
with
sitting
all
okay.
this? Okay,
we've chatted about that a fair amount,
yeah,
so.
okay.
When is that
Is this all over the
grant
summer,
supposed to be
or?
pulled, or?
So the
decided?
grant has 2 levels, and we should have knowledge of the second level before May.
Okay.
And that was a USDA?
It was a USDA.
First level's
That
already
is
passed
correct.
then?
What's that?
First level's already passed then? or-
Yes, we submitted the grant in for the first level.
Okay.
And it goes through, because this is as money is available, so apparently it's not a guarantee, but we are at least on the list and trying to get those funds, so.
Okay,
Barrett voted on it.
okay,
Hold on.
all right, outstanding balances, daycare and food service.
All right. I think, just looking at this one again, the recommendation is pursuing different options to take care of outstanding daycare bills, that's one thing. But then with our food service bills, I think getting after making continual contact with those families to fill out applications for free and reduced is our best bet. Because trying to pursue something in that area might be sensitive. I don't know if that's the direction the board wants to go.
Plus,
I'll
I
make-
think in the past, we've had a donor cover.
Some of it.
You are correct. We have had a number of donations over the
Yes.
past couple of years that have taken care of some of these food balances, which is nice, but it still doesn't mean that we
Right.
shouldn't be trying to pursue this.
Absolutely, if they're eligible to get the free or reduced.
Right.
I'll make the motion to recommend, or the approval of recommendations to move forward with outstanding balances.
Second.
Okay, Brad and John, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, 3-on-3 basketball fundraiser.
Okay, I know this was not on the committee of the whole, but it is a very similar, or it's basically the same thing that we had done last year. It was a huge success for funding with our Wolf Ridge experience, so.
Well,
And can you remind at least me what Wolf Ridge is?
Sure, it's a environmental learning area, or not area, but environmental learning center. It's
In Ely.
up past Ely, so it's out there. I've been there, it's a
It's
great
pretty cool.
experience.
Yeah.
The students learn about environmental stuff as well as some of the traditions of fur traders and whatnot, so they get out on the old style canoe, and there's a lot of great experiences there, so, anywho.
I'll make the motion to approve the fundraiser for Wolf Ridge.
okay, Brad and
Second?
John, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, last but not least. open
Wall of
session.
honor?
Wall of honor.
And this is just acknowledgement, we had our 2, and I
Yep.
mentioned those.
So the two were Bob Smith and Nathan Albert.
Okay.
So I think what, we're supposed to just notify the board, and if anybody has any.
When is that, are they doing that dinner again? then?
April 11th?
That is correct, the 11th. So, and we have the band providing some entertainment during this event as well, and I'm hoping to expand that a little bit. In some of my travels, I might have seen something kind of like a cabaret or jazz thing, just to spruce up stuff. So anyway, I think we can go in a few different directions with this, so.
Like Nathan's third time nominated, finally got it.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, my
Time's a
goodness.
charm.
All right.
Good, I'm glad somebody didn't give up.
I'll make the motion, we convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851C to consider employment, promotion, and compensation to perform the evaluation data of any public employee over which this governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility.
Second.
All right. Brad and Ben, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, short break.
Yes, please.
Bob Smith. Holy cow.
I hope he makes it there. Yeah, I hope he makes it though.
Oh, yep.
How's he, I mean, I haven't.
We are on
He's-
camera.
I haven't seen him lately,
I
honestly.
saw him driving.
Last time I saw him was at the last boys' home game, I think.
Good.
And he was there and
Yeah.
he seemed okay, but, I mean, they gave him a month to live like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys.
Well, what's he got? I didn't.
Cancer.
Oh,
All over the place.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, it's
And then Nathan's got a baseball.
terminal.
That day?
But
Oh, oh.
What a community color.
Well, they're trying, they rescheduled it because Northwood kids have their prom or something
Prom schmom.
the other day, and so I don't know.
when is our awards banquet?
He's
thing?
trying to work.
You know, I
something.
just asked Nathan that the other day. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah.
I believe
My wife
it's-
was mad because John Bass posted it was on the 19th, but it was actually Northwestern's, not ours.
Oh.
I
And she's
think
like, I'm like,
it's-
oh, wait a minute, it's Northwestern.
Someone else, Craig Council took
I think it's
for our son's
May
graduation.
14th.